If there's one thing that Clan Collection has done really well for the Vanguard V format itself, is the fact that they actually give a very good new card to a old archetype that actually breathes new life into it and make it more or less playable in the current format. However, there is one particular archetype that I have a lot of skepticism about due to how underwhelming it initially is, until I have really tried the deck out and playtested it for almost a good 1 month already, and I can gladly say that I really enjoy this particular archetype. And yes, I'm talking about Witches, the OTT Witches. It's no secret that Oracle Think Tank main focus has always been all about preparing in advance and at the same time tanking the hell out of the opponent's attacks. And Witches take one of the aspects and take it to quite a literal extreme, as its main focus is Protect 1. However, it does have an issue initially, as it was a very underwhelming 3 attack decks due to ability to not be able to accelerate the marker fast enough. However, thanks to the brand new cards in the Clan Collection, the deck became a little bit more tolerable in terms of that ability to go offensive. But not only that, it has enough acceleration to make many of their abilities actually matters. Let's start off with Sprouting Wish Roro, which does have a very special place in this archetype. It has 2 abilities: Auto Regard. When the attack is boosted, hits a Vanguard, counter blast 1, put this unit into your soul and draw a card. And second ability, Auto Soul. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with which in its card name is placed, so blast 1, call this card from your soul to Regard Circle. And for your information, yes, this does work with the Stride Witches. So this card does have a very special place in the whole archetype due to the fact that it was the only effect grade 1 minus the Sentinel to exist in the archetype until the Clan Collection came by. And let's be real here, this is not a very good start unit. It's decent in the late game if you need a little bit of boost, but thanks to the certain unit being released later on, this card kind of became irrelevant. However, this card still does have a place in the deck in the current version of the deck as a only wish fodder, and I will come to that later. Also, before I get into the next card, I will not be covering the vanilla because, you know, it's a vanilla.
No, he's got a point.
Citrine Wish Mumu is one of the cards that was released in V Clan Collection, and in my opinion, this is by far one of the crux of the brand new Wishes deck. Although when this unit is rolled upon by a Wish unit, draw a card. At Regard Circle, so blast 1, address this unit, look at top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 3 Witches cards, and add one of them to your hand. If you didn't review 3 by this effect, put this unit into soul. So essentially, this card does 2 things and does 2 things really well. 1, being a decent starter as it does give you a draw, and 2, it actually is one of the best searcher that is currently available in the Vanguard V format, as it not only does have once per turn, it can be reused as long as you have enough soul to pay. You can just purposefully miss the review 3 effect to actually put this card into your soul on purpose, so extending any unit that needed the play.
Nice.
So essentially, this unit is a resource bomb. Like, that's the only thing I can say about it. It's a resource bomb and must run for at all times due to the fact that it just helps to filter out the deck very quickly, making a higher chance of hitting triggers very consistently. Coco Wish Purple is by far the best grade 2 to ride into, as well as your main firepower, as it is gonna be your strongest attacker in this deck. Auto Vanguard, when ridden from grade 1, discard a card from your hand and you get a Protect.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Just downright a Protect. And second ability as a Vanguard, when it attacks, review 1 or more Sentinel from your hand, including Protect, and this unit gets 5k until end of that battle for each card review for this cost. Yes, this is essentially one of the most important unit, as it's not only help you to generate Protect early game, protecting you from some of the more annoying attacks, it's also used as a very end game unit if you manage to draw into her, as she actually can hit up to 100k power, and I have tested it. It hit that extremely consistently, so I would recommend to run 4 of this, as this is just really powerful. If Pupu is your best general in the Wishes deck, then Nini is more like a strategist, constant in soul. During your main phase, if you have a Wish Vanguard, then this card gets a grade 1. Act on Vanguard circle, put this unit into your soul, look at 3 cards on top of your deck and put them back in any order. So essentially this card does 2 things. One is a bullet for Coco's effect, and second is to prep for any situation in shortly for the effect. So either you rearrange your top 3 for the Coco draw 2, or you just prepare your trigger lineup for the barrage of attack that the Wish can do. You should run 4 of it as it's still a +1 to your soul, which can be quite crucial if you want to spam Mumu effect as well. Topaz with PP was a decent unit in the older Wish deck, but I think if you do have it in your deck already, then it's definitely a decent card. Constant Vanguard or Regard during your turn. If your hand has 4 or more cards, this get +2k. And when this rolled upon by unit with Wish in this card name, so +1, draw a card. This used to be a best target to write into your grade 2 before Poo came along, as you essentially set up for your next turn to allow you to draw additional card. But I do not see a use of this card as much as it used to be, as there is much better card to run in this deck aside from PP. Kind of sad though, cause her name is kind of like a meme joke. Yellow Wish Mimi was a very first Wishes card printed in V format, and her effect kind of shows. And no, I'm not gonna call her meme, cause that's me.
Gay!
On Regard, when placed, look at top card of your deck and put it on the top or bottom of your deck. Well, this is just your typical check your top card effect of the OTT deck. You can run it if you want, but I do feel that there is a better card to run. For example, Nini, as Nini is reprinted in Clan Collection. Last but not least is the brand new card from the Clan Collection for the grade 2, Jade Wish Tete. Yup, that Tete. When this card is discarded from hand during your turn, and if you have a Witch Vanguard, so +1, call this unit to Regard, kind of counter cost of many Witches unit. When this unit is put on guard circle, choose any number of Sentinels from your hand, discard them, and this unit gets shield plus 20k until the end of battle for each card discarded. This card has 2 very good effects. The first one is to recoup the cost of any discard that you do during your Wish effect like Coco, Yo-Yo or anything else. And its second effect is essentially an answer to any deck that restricts Sentinel from being guard in the guard step. And I think this does the job very well, since the Sentinel is gonna be useless in your hand anyway, might as well discard it to use for something else. So overall, this is not the best defensive card you have seen around, but it definitely gets its job done. Now let's move on to grade 3s, and let's start from the classic Scarlet Wish Coco. Auto on Vanguard circle, when written from a grade 2 unit, draw a card and act Vanguard once per turn, counter +1, so +1 grade 3, draw 2 cards and discard any number of cards with wishes in their name from your hand and get the same number of imaginary gift protect as a number of cards discarded. And yeah, this is in my opinion by far the strongest accelerator of markers of all time, and I think there's nothing wrong with giving this kind of effect to a protect deck, as I already mentioned in one of my videos before, it's a reactive marker. However, the needed of Coco definitely drop over years as the deck get better unit, as this thing only works well as a turn 3 starter, as not only it does draw a card, it does help you to generate multiple protect to protect you over next few turns. Overall, I still think this is still a crucial card to run in a deck. I did run 4 copy in my deck, and I do think that this is definitely one of the units that does kind of stand the test of time surprisingly, now that the beta support has been released for her. Sozo is definitely one of the units that take a baton pass from Coco to her very well. When this card attack, reveal any number of protect from your hand, and 3 of your front row get 5k for every card revealed by this effect. So essentially, if you can reveal like 7 protects in your hand, then your entire front row get 35k until the end of turn. It has a relatively okay second effect. When this unit attack hit the Vanguard, this works both as Vanguard and Regard, counter +1 and draw a card. Nothing special, but what makes this card is so strong is the fact that it combos very well with the brand new grade 3 Wish, that it makes Poo a very scary unit. As I mentioned earlier, she can hit 100k, and this is one of the cards that help her to achieve that very consistently. After Sozo released back in BTO3, Wishes did get 1 of 2 card support, but it wasn't very good. like Kiki, has ability to discard a trigger unit to gain 15k until end of battle. If this lasts until end of turn, I would be happy a little bit more, but the fact that it's only lasts for one battle just scream bad, and you need to discard a trigger for unit for it? No sir.
Of course!
Then you have Brilliant Wish Popo, which is only work when you have less than 10 cards in your deck. But if that happens, this card gets 10k and is a original Silent Tom effect, so no grade 0 card. And I think this is a decent card, but with the current version of Witches, you won't be able to hit the 10 cards in the deck that fast. So yeah, it's not very good. The last grade 3 Wish unit for now is V OTT Witch Yo-Yo, and in my opinion this is a very important card for the current OTT Witch deck as it enables 4th attack. Auto Vanguard or front row rear guard. At the end of the battle, your Vanguard with Wish in its card name attack a grade 3 or greater Vanguard. If it's the first battle this turn, counter blast 1, discard 2, choose up to grade 3 card with a Wish in this card name from your hand and write it as stand. And auto, when this unit is rolled upon, call this card to rear guard circle or just simply get a protect. So this card essentially helps you to accelerate protect marker in a fastest way possible. I think aside from Coco, this is the most balanced way of accelerating the protect marker. And for those who complaining this is accelerating faster than force or acceleration they have seen so far, don't forget that these two markers power is increased or exponentially, while protect is increased essentially quite linearly. So overall this card is just very important to run because it's enable the 4th attack, and it's enable a lot of strong combo which make this deck really scary, and one of them is of course the 100k Poo combo. So yeah, definitely run 4 of these as it's one of the best cards that Witches has to offer as of now. Now that I have talked about all the Witches card in the current OTT in the V format, it's good to talk about its pros and its cons. It definitely is one of the most tankiest that I have seen so far due to its acceleration or protect markers, while still being quite balanced with its offense with cards like Poo, Sozo, and Yo-Yo. And also it is quite good at filtering with the cards like Mumu, and if you run Amino Murakumo with the deck, it filtered even better, so it have a higher chance of hitting a critical triggers. However, this deck still have its own problem, and one of the biggest problem is the fact that it is extremely key piece reliant, and it does require certain card to be in your hand at the certain turn to actually makes the combo really worth it. And also up against Axel deck, there is roughly half the chance that you cannot protect against their on barrage of assault if they manage to high roll. Also, this deck is extremely weak against marker destruction or any action that actually reduce the number of protect or sentinel in your hand. As much as these are the defensive card of the deck, it is also the offensive part of the deck. Here's my current deck list of the Witches deck, and it's pretty standard. 4 of each of the key piece right now, so Coco, Zozo, and Yo-Yo, and Tete, and Mumu. You know, all the cards that help to filter the deck very well and also increase the offensive capability of the deck. However, there is a few tech choices that you can kind of swap in the form of Amino Murakumo in my deck at least, and also Gemini, which help to countercharge, which is one of the bottleneck that I noticed when I'm up against certain deck in certain situations. So that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoy this particular deck list. I know that Wish is definitely one of the not popular, let's put it this way, it's not so popular deck in the current format, and I hope with this video a lot of people will get to interest to play more Witches. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Take care of yourself, and this is Mac Megane signing out.